this is where we want you to be. You're open before your forward swing even starts.
But it feels weird.
Right.
It's a weirdness.
Are we high
High five.
Hey T-Fam, I'm Kirby Bridges. I'm a coach here at EssentialTennis.com, where it's our mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate players just like you. Our VIP student Anne came to work with us from Chicago recently and made some astounding progress. She came to us after having serious tennis injuries, tennis elbow, a shoulder issue, forearm tightness, and wrist pain. So the first thing we did was take a look at her technique to get her using her body as efficiently as possible. And now you'll see that she crushes her forehand with no pain, and she even feels less tired when she plays. I can't wait to show you this transformation, so let's get right to the lesson. Just make sure you catch the end of this video where I'm gonna tell you how you can get your free forehand action plan so that you can use the same coaching we used with Anne the next time you're on court.
Just a couple of kind of checkpoints that I want to make sure that we're on the same page about, that are, for me, kind of the building blocks or the framework that allows a good quality swing. Mm-hmm. First one is a good initial turn with the body. Roger started off facing forwards in a neutral position. Yeah. Before the ball gets there, he makes a full 90-degree turn, meaning perpendicular to the baseline. I like using the baseline as kind of an anchor angle. Okay. Anchor angle. From there, his racket drops down below where contact is going to be. Mm-hmm. And I want you to watch the logo on the front of his shirt, how that leads forwards ahead of the racket. Racket's moving forwards as well, but you see how it's kind of being left behind a little bit. Yep. And by the time he makes contact, his chest is facing totally forwards. It's parallel to the baseline, and he hasn't made contact yet. So before contact, he's made a full 90-degree rotation with his upper body. Okay. Before hitting the ball. Yeah. Then contact is made, and as he follows through, his body continues to rotate. Now this is just on like this is one of his like first shots of the day. He's just real relaxed and kind of loose here. He's not trying to like juice it up or anything. Okay. Roger, in practice sessions, at least at tournament sites, is super just kind of casual, like loosey-goosey. And so this is just a real casual swing. As he makes contact, his racket is coming upward to meet the ball. That's what gives it lift and topspin. But the main thing I want you to pay attention to is that rotation of his body. And if we look at more forehands, we'll see the same thing. 90-degree initial turn, chest leading forwards, full 90 degrees back again. Yep. towards the net before he makes contact. Here's the baseline right there. Mm-hmm. Contact, the racket moving up, and then follow through, and his body continues to release or rotate. So really, on these two examples, he's made a full 180-degree rotation, and contact is in the middle, meaning he sets up by loading back 90 degrees. He goes back forward 90 degrees to the point of contact, and then after contact, he continues for another 90 degrees. So contact is right in the middle of that big rotation with his body. Okay. Does that make sense? Yep. That's really critical because it allows the arm to stay relaxed and loose while the body really powers or drives the shot. Okay. All right, so now let's take a look at yours. You have that kind of picture in your mind? Yeah. Now, these first two that I'm going to show you are outliers. But I want to show them to you just for visual, just for illustration. Okay. You missed, the reason why they're outliers is you misjudged these two shots. Mm-hmm. They both bounced in a little closer to you than what you thought. Yeah. And so your normal pattern was really accentuated. But I want you to see them because it'll be immediately like incredibly obvious what you're doing in contrast. Okay, so you start off just like Roger. You're turned 90 degrees to the side. Your racket is coming down below the point of contact, so that means that it's going to be moving upwards as you make contact. What happened with Roger's chest before he made contact? Do you remember?
Move forward.
By how much?
By 90 degrees.
Yes. How much has your chest moved?
Almost zero.
Almost zero.
Right.
And so from here to here, all that's really moved is your arm.
Yeah.
And so all of the stress and strain and efforts required to hit that ball back over the net is all coming from here.
Okay.
Oh, from here.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to play some in full motion in a second. You're not nearly as tight as I think you are.
Okay.
You're actually quite smooth and fluid, and so this is actually can be kind of a tricky thing to diagnose at full speed. This next one really, you really got caught off guard here by this one. And same thing, essentially zero rotation forward with your body. So everything is being relied upon your arm to actually hit the ball.
Okay.
This next one, you're in balance, you're in good position. And so a little bit better example, but at best, we're at maybe 45 degrees rotation with your torso. We don't necessarily need to, carbon copy Roger.
Yeah.
Roger is, even among professional players, is pretty special for his ability to be loose, relaxed, and create dynamic power and energy as he hits his shots. So we're not necessarily going to try to copy him completely, but there's no reason why we can't at least get the body turn part of it.
Okay.
Whether or not you, this is typically referred to as lag, where the arm and the racket kind of stay behind for a little while and then they catch up to the point of contact. We don't necessarily need to copy his lag, definitely not now. Okay. However, we're relying way, way too much on this part of your body. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, the reason why I said this can be a little tricky is because you continue to turn, but it's not until after contact. So here's contact. You do get back to parallel with the baseline, but it's not until well after the ball is gone. Yeah. And that's your average swing. That's what happens. You turn a little bit, but not a lot to contact. Not even the 45 degrees here. Your elbow's actually behind your body completely here. And then you do keep turning, but it's not until after the ball is gone. Okay. And so when we watch it full speed, it's pretty strong, continuous, fluid swing. These are strong looking swings at full speed. But when we slow it down and look at your individual positions, we see that you're in a really compromised position with your body at contact. Okay. Which, as I said before, is the most critical moment in time. To you, what this is going to feel like is separation between what your core is doing and what your arm is doing. We want the core to lead instead of being passive. And what we're actually going to do at first is totally segment it. I want you to start off in a ready position, turn to the side the way you normally do, 90 degrees. But I want you to now, for the next couple minutes, begin by turning your chest forwards, independent of your arm. Leave your racket in your arm where it is. You don't have to get straight to, you're going to feel a stretch here. You don't have to get totally lateral to the service line, but I want you to move it at least 45 degrees forwards and then slowly make a swing forwards. This is not how we're actually going to hit the ball, but I just want you to kinesthetically, just feel this separation between your core and your arm. So position 1, position 2, position 3. Got it? So position 1 is your normal take back. Position 2, turn forward as your, Told you you'd feel a stretch.
Yeah, it feels weird.
The key here, Anne, is at first is awareness. If you can't feel what this new one is like, no matter how weird it feels, if you can't differentiate between what this feels like and what you're used to feeling, then when the ball is coming at you, you'll never be able to actually choose the correct one. Kind of take a second and remember what it felt like for you to separate. Did you feel that, what I was talking about, kind of separation between your chest and your arm? Yeah. So watch Roger's chest. Focus on his chest. Do you see the separation? So his hand and his arm are moving forward here a little bit. But look at the racket, how it stays back behind.
Yeah.
How his chest is coming forwards. His racket doesn't break that position. It's hard for me to even tell you. I wish I literally could tell you how much time elapses between here and contact. It's like a couple thousandths of a second probably, and his racket is still pointing back towards the back fence. Watch this. Position 1. Position 2. This is not the way Roger does it. This is actually a little exaggerated,
Yeah.
but can you see the similar foundation here?
Yes.
Your chest leading first,
Yeah.
your arm, your racket lagging back. Now, without asking you to change your contact point, you've changed it to this is basically what Roger is doing. Extended arm
Yeah.
out in front of his body into the court. This is a stable, strong position. This is where we would like to make contact.
Okay.
Looks good, huh?
Yeah.
Just for contrast. It's your elbow more towards the back of your body.
Yep. Okay.
And go ahead and add the follow through to that end. Good. If you need to go back and refeel the segments, go ahead and do that. As soon as you feel like you're kind of losing track of what your body's doing, then take a half step back. And this is the process you're going to lead yourself through at home when we're not standing next to you.
Okay.
You watch a couple in full speed.
I'm pausing right there.
It's fine for now. A little bit of segmenting right now is totally fine. So this would be imaginary contact. Using that as your anchor. That's where we want to be. 90 degrees turned, and then we're using that energy to lead the racket towards contact.
Cool.
And again, without asking you, notice how your chest is now facing away from the camera. You've made a 180-degree turn just like Roger did, and contact is right in the middle. So that's absolutely like ideal
Okay.
core usage. That will allow your arm to be totally free and loose
Okay.
and relaxed without having to use it to actually power the shot. For the next minute or two, you're going to go through a 3-swing sequence. 2 slow shadow swings without a ball, and then after your second shadow swing, Kirby will drop you a ball, and your only focus, your only concern is leading with your chest, just the way you did on the shadow swings, but on the actual hit. Make sense?
I have no idea whether I'm doing it or not.
All right, let's find out. I actually don't know 100% either. Like, I don't know until we actually see it. All right, good. Yeah, much better. So there's contact.
Okay, but still.
You can see there's like this, like you're getting kind of tense right around contact,
Yep.
and that's your body just kind of trying to manage the whole thing and like control it. And we need to loosen up and do just like you do on the shadow swings. But this is 100% success.
Okay.
Like totally different than what we were doing before. I think I have some shadow swings here. Let me see. Yeah, so here's like 2 shadow swings and then a hit. Watch the difference in tempo and tension. Shadow swing. Tempo is actually pretty similar. Obviously, tension was totally different based on that reaction. You're so concerned and wrapped up with the outcome that you're not allowing yourself to just execute the new movement. And this is the crux of improvement for me with students, is you have to let go of all your concern about where the ball is going to go.
Yeah.
And you have to be very present and just kind of focus internally on just executing the movement. Good. Here's your last swing real quick. Good. It's better, better, better. You see how the slope of your right shoulder here, actually it looks like you're just standing there. But it's actually really, really significant. Do you see how as you come through, watch your, right here, watch how your shoulder comes up as you go to contact. There's like this, to me, that's like bracing, it's tension coming up to contact.
So I should not be doing that.
Correct.
Okay.
When I ask you to relax more, look at it here. This to me is much looser, and as a result, that lag, kind of factor is happening much more. Everything just works better when, just by definition, when your body is looser, it moves more freely, it moves more naturally. So this is probably my favorite single repetition so far, in terms of execution of the early turn and relaxation. It's a really nice position.
Okay.
Good job. Now, I've mentioned several times, like, this is important. We're not necessarily saying that this is our model that we're trying to copy, but it's a good reference point, Roger. So here's you going forwards towards the ball. And here's Roger at the same, I'm trying to line up kind of the plane of the shoulders here in the same position. Wow. It's really similar. I mean, I'm really happy with that.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, let go control from the shoulder down. Just allow it to swing. Let it be passive and follow along. Yes, yes, yeah. A little bit higher one. Nice job. Yeah, you got a little bit of that shrug, shoulder shrug in there. But you got to parallel really nicely. Good initiation with your shoulders. You need to remember where we started, and remember the very first ball Kirby fed you, how your arm completely took over. We're miles away from that now. Now it's kind of smaller things. We need to get rid of that shrug and that tension in your shoulders. But
Cool.
yeah, that's a huge, gigantic difference. So last swing. That's one of the easiest looking forehands you've probably ever hit.
Yeah.
Got to parallel well before contact. And pretty minimal shrug there. Little bit, but not very much. Those are the two focus points right now.
So, and this next turn, the shadow swings and the hit, I want you to crazy exaggerate it. Again, it's gonna, I want it to feel like the weirdest shot that you've hit today. Okay, better. All right, let's take a look. Did it feel crazy?
Yeah.
Good, okay.
It's not very often we get a student actually exaggerating something on a hit. Thank you. I think you may have actually done it there. Oh, nice.
Right?
Look at you.
Exaggerated.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So chest is open. This is where we want you to be. You're open before your forward swing even starts.
But it feels weird.
Right.
It's a weirdness.
Are we high five?
It looks fine. Look it doesn't look exaggerated. It looks normal. This is how the pros look. This is the position that you have to be in to use your body most efficiently. So it's just out in front, easy, It rotates all the way around. Anne's overall understanding and ability to execute a quality forehand has dramatically improved. But it's important to remember that this is just the start of her development. So to help her cement these changes into new habits, we sent her home with a detailed action plan to follow so she can continue improving. Now I'd like to invite you to the same opportunity by downloading our special forehand action plan. Even though our coaches won't be right there next to you like we were with Anne, we can give you the next best thing, a powerful, effective, step-by-step process to follow at home. Get instant access to our Forehand Action Plan PDF by clicking the link in the description down below or by going to forehandactionplan.com. Just let me know where to send it and you'll have it right in your inbox in a few minutes with results just like Anne. Finally, do me a favor, and if you like this video, come back to it, give us a like, give us a comment down below with how your results are coming along, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss a single lesson. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next video.